Hello, it is December 22nd, Friday. It's the date that we've been waiting for quite some time. It is the Canadian Ontario Tribunal hearing date. It has been rescheduled a couple times, and so far it looks like it's going to be a go at 10 a.m. So we're going to jump to that as soon as that starts. But as we go into today's session here, I want to just remind you very briefly that I am not your consultant. I'm not a financial advisor. So anything that I talk about before or after we watch this hearing is not financial advice. So momentarily it's going to start. I'm looking at the screen here, and it looks like it's getting ready to start. So let's just jump right into that. Stay tuned. It sounds like they're going to be talking about some great points. Let's see what happens.
Good morning. This is an attendance of the Capital Markets Tribunal in the matter of Novatech Ltd. And Cynthia Petian. I am adjudicator Cecilia Williams, the panel for today's attendance. I see Mr. Weingarten for Ontario Securities Commission. Good morning, Mr. Weingarten.
Good morning, adjudicator Williams.
And we have nobody in attendance today for Novatech Ltd. or Ms. Petian.
No, and I can confirm that I haven't heard anything from the respondents.
Thank you very much. Before we start, Mr. Weingarten, I wanted to make some general comments. You may leave your camera on if you wish, up to you.
Yes.
There's a great deal of public interest in this case, including from people outside of Ontario, who may not be familiar with the Capital Markets Tribunal and the work we do. I want to take a few minutes, in case any interested parties are watching today, to provide some background about this tribunal and this case. The Capital Markets Tribunal is an independent administrative tribunal in the province of Ontario. We are not a court of law. We do not have the authority to hear private legal claims, in other words, lawsuits. We hold hearings about alleged breaches of Ontario's securities law. Cases are brought by a government agency called the Ontario Securities Commission. Staff of that agency make the allegations about possible breaches of Ontario securities law. This tribunal only has the authority granted to us under the provincial legislation that governs us. So we can only order certain kinds of things. For example, we ban people from the capital markets in Ontario, but we do not have the authority to order the return of funds to investors. Anyone who is looking to recover funds invested in Novatech would need to pursue those claims in another forum. It is not appropriate for me to say anything further on this topic. Any inquiries that you have about the case should not be directed to the registrar of this tribunal. They should be directed to the Ontario Securities Commission, and contact information is on the Ontario Securities Commission's website. Speaking now about this case, the allegations against Novatech and Ms. Petian, its CEO, in the case before me, are that they sold securities in Ontario to Ontario investors without having registered here and without using a required sales document known as a prospectus. Staff at the Ontario Securities Commission made those allegations in a statement of allegations dated August 23, 2023. A statement of allegations starts what we call a proceeding. This hearing is part of the proceeding against Novatech and Ms. Petian. There is no mandated timing for when a hearing of allegations must be held, but the tribunal tries to hold what we call a merits hearing within a year of when the proceeding starts. There are several steps that need to be taken between the beginning of the proceeding and the actual hearing of the allegations. disclosure of documents, sharing of information about witnesses, scheduling the dates of the hearing, etc. Those steps often involve an attendance such as we are having today. The purpose of our attendance today, which was rescheduled from November 27, is to schedule the dates of the hearing. We are here today with only staff of the Ontario Securities Commission attending because attempts by staff to serve Novatech and Ms. Petian have either been unsuccessful or have not solicited any response. People have asked how they can listen to or attend the hearing. If you check the tribunal website, capitalmarketstribunal.ca, under Proceedings, you will find information about how to register to attend the video conferenced hearing. If a hearing is rescheduled, it is not possible for the tribunal registrar to notify everyone who may have registered. Therefore, if you register to attend the hearing, you will need to check the tribunal website for information about any changes to scheduled dates. If you cannot attend, you can ask for a copy of the transcript of the hearing, which is available for a fee. Information about obtaining a transcript is also available on the website. Those are my general comments. Mr. Weingarten, if you could come back on. So as I said, our purpose today is to schedule the dates for the hearing. Before we get to that, was there anything in general that you wanted to raise, Mr. Weingarten?
No, nothing further.
Okay, thank you. You've proposed that the hearing occur on April 25, 26, and 29 of 2024. Those dates are available for the panel. I'll just confirm that those the hearings on those dates would start at 10 a.m. on each of those days.
Yes, that's correct.
You've indicated that you'd like your opening statements and your first witness, Mr. Pettypiece, to be in person, which is fine. Will the part of the hearing with your 4 other witnesses be hybrid or fully online?
I'm prepared to attend in person if it's preferable to the panel. I know we're trying to transition back to full-time in-person hearings, so I'm in the panel's hands. I have no issue either attending in person and examining witnesses while they attend remotely, or having the proceeding proceed entirely hybrid. It may be preferable for the 26th to be in person and have any witnesses attend by video. I'm not certain whether or not Mr. Pettypiece's evidence would run over to the 26th. The intention is that we would play some video evidence as well, and as I've learned from another matter recently, the videos do not typically play smoothly through GoToWebinar purely by video. So it would be preferable to schedule the 25th and at least half the day or the full day on the 26th in person. And if some of the witnesses will start in the afternoon of the 26th, I can be in person and examine them over whatever technology is available.
Okay, that's helpful. So I think we'll plan on having the start of the hearing in person and the balance in hybrid. And if we need to make any changes to that prior to the hearing date, then we will deal with that. Just wanted to note for you, you'd also indicated you'd like to make your closing submissions on June 7.
Yes.
The panel has a conflict in the morning on June 7, and I'm wondering how much time you were anticipating taking if we could schedule your closing submissions for the afternoon.
I think half a day would be sufficient. Of course, never say never, but we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. But I think half a day would be sufficient.
So if we scheduled that for 1 p.m. on the 7th?
That's agreeable.
Okay, thank you. And then looking to the other dates that we need to schedule, so the filing of your electronic documents and index, etc., April 12th. Written submissions May 31st. You didn't indicate when your e-hearing checklist would be available, but that's linked to the final interlocutory. So would March 28 work for you for the final interlocutory?
That is agreeable. I realized that I hadn't proposed those dates because everything depended on the scheduling of the actual merits hearing date. I think that technically puts us closer than the 30 days under the practice guideline, but I have no issue attending on the 28th. I was trying to figure out the schedule this morning. Either the 28th or March 25th would work as well. That would put us, I believe, 30 days, and then the e-hearing checklist, we would back up 5 days to March 18th, but I'm in the panel's hands.
Yes, I proposed the 28th because the panel has a matter starting on the 25th. If we don't anticipate the final interlocutory attendance taking much time, we could schedule it for 9 a.m. on the 25th.
The 28th is agreeable. I don't expect that it's going to be very lengthy at all.
Okay, so we'll do the 28th at 10 by video conference. And that would put the e-hearing checklist at March 22nd.
That's agreeable.
Okay. Have I missed anything, Mr. Weingarten?
By my list, those are all the dates that we need to schedule, and I don't have anything further to add for this morning's attendance.
So just give me a moment while I check my notes to make sure that I haven't missed anything I want to cover. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, Mr. Weingarten.
Thank you very much, Judy Hitter-Williams.
And we are adjourned.
Wow, there we have it. A lot of information, and yes, no one from Novatech showed up. No appearance from Cynthia Eddy. No one. Does that surprise me? It doesn't surprise me the least bit, and it shouldn't surprise you either. But the information that was talked about from the chair, or the panel chair from the Capital Market Tribunal, M. Cecilia Williams, I believe was huge. It was a lot of information that was delivered to us, the people. Because bottom line, there's a huge interest in this. People have huge money. You may as well. So if you have to, go back, watch this video again, because she made a really good point about talking about what the tribunal's responsibility is. Yes, Brian Weingarten was there from the enforcement branch of the Ontario Securities Commission, the OSC, and he's the one bringing it before the tribunal, the Capital Market Tribunal. So what was delivered today is some great information. I'm looking at my notes. I was trying to keep up. I'm just going to touch on a few here. I'm not going to ramble on, because what was said in that video, that's the meat and potatoes right there. So yes, I mean, the panel chair said that they are, an independent entity. They're not a court of law. They cannot hear lawsuits. They can only order certain things. They can't ban people. But what I found was very interesting is that because there's such a huge interest in this with people with huge money, they've been getting a lot of contacts as far as people wanting to claim their funds and what to do. And the panel chair, she did a fabulous job as far as giving information that had to direct it to the Ontario Securities Commission. So that way it goes back to the enforcement branch and probably back to Brian Weingarten with instructions on what to do. But we're gonna stay on top of this. Okay, I've been promising you all along that when we get information, I'm gonna bring it to you, because you people who have huge money, you want to try and make every attempt to get that back. So I feel it's only right for me to stay on top of this and bring this information back to you. So we got some dates coming up, April and June. Yes, this seems like it's forever out, but we got to stay with this, people. We got to stick together. So they have hearing coming up with witnesses. It's April 25th and 26th, that Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be on top of this, okay? And then they got their closing submission on June 7th. And all this is in 2024. So I know it's probably not what you wanted. You wanted to see the Pettyons up here today. And like I said, it doesn't surprise me the least bit. But we got some good information, some good instructions, and clarity on what this capital market tribunal is about. So like I said, if you need to rewatch this video, go back to the beginning, watch it again, take some notes on what you can do if you want to take action because you got some big money tied up in Novatech, and go down that road and put it in the comments what you think or what your experiences are. If you're doing that, please, 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 if you reach out to the Securities Commission in Ontario and you have any kind of contact, success, unsuccess, put it down in the comments, and we're going to work on this together as a family, people, okay? So I don't want to ramble on. I want to keep this nice and tight and short. It's not me that's delivering information. You know, it's what was said in the video. So I'm even going to go back and watch it again and take some better notes. And we're going to stay on top of this. So, yep, today is a few days before Christmas. Hope everyone has a great Christmas, holidays, Hanukkah, whatever it may be. We're going to stick together as a family, people, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to see where life takes us, okay? So if I don't get a chance to come before you before the end of the year, have yourself a great and blessed new year as we go into 2024. Take care, everybody.